Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. I love as I'm fading it out and it doesn't fade, and then all of a sudden the music just stops. So there we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Old Gray Bricks. It's good to have y'all here this evening. Is there something Canadian wrong with your hand, Jeff? Is that?
No, it was stuck in this position. I was just trying to fix it.
I gotcha. Hello. Welcome. Hello in the Steve. There's Steve's in the chat there. Hello. Say hello if you're over hanging out in the chat. It is time for Messy Monday. Messy Monday is just where we hang out, talk, and all those kind of things. Do you guys know that there's a good chance that there are people filming things in the general area here in town? Do y'all know those things might be happening?
Yes.
Are you guys staking out the parking lot every evening?
I rode by the parking lot the other day, and I rode by the we lost Aubrey. And I rode by the studio the other day just because I happened to be in the area. So
I can't answer
Right back.
the question to protect other people's anonymity.
I understand. Aubrey said her audio. She's going to jump back in here in a second. All right. Hey, say hello. Yeah. Say hello. Hi. To see, Dana said he was allergy-ish and out. I bet you Sandlin is asleep from his allergies. I don't know. I haven't heard from him yet.
Sorry.
What are allergies?
Apparently, I can stream this to my channel as well.
Yes, you can. There was a fee, and I clicked on it. If you want to see what happens with that, it allows you to stream to your stream. So you can try it. I'll be interested to see what happens.
So you're saying you can cross the streams?
No, you can split the streams. So
I'm gonna do it to. Well, I'll just do it to YouTube for now.
Sure, that'd be cool to see. Yeah, I don't know. Mark's playing a video game. He's on Discord playing a video game instead of hanging out with us. That's fine. No bitterness there. None whatsoever. No, I'm good. How are you guys this evening?
Honestly, I don't know what it is, but I have just been a lot busier this year. I mean, we've been doing this obviously for a while, and even after we sort of went back to doing in-person stuff after COVID, like I seem like things were pretty slow at my house, but the last couple of months have just been busy.
Yep.
Anyways.
Apparently, we're live on my channel too now.
Are we? All right. I'm going to YouTube to look. I just want to see how it works. Because it popped up with that options, and okay. I'm live on your channel too.
There you go. There is another option now in StreamYard too that you can actually put little captions below our names.
Yes,
it's in the settings. So we use that on our channel to put our actual channel names.
So I put the word test. Oh yeah, hey, look there. It comes up in the chat there. I marked on wrote on yours. Yeah, it shows up there and it has a link on it. That's kind of fun. Okay, we're testing out new technology here on Old Gray Bricks. That's all.
So crazy.
Insert old dog's new tricks joke.
Oh, and it notified Shane right away too. That's cool.
Yeah, it did. So yeah, your live went to your viewers and all that kind of stuff. So if you're on his, find mine also and subscribe and do those things, and that would be cool. So let me go to my channel so I can moderate from there.
Wait, does that mean now that I can also I can now directly chat in the chat window on StreamYard? Anyway.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. That's it.
Cool.
Okay, Aubrey's back. Hello, Aubrey.
Yes. Sorry, that was weird. My audio just stopped working. I couldn't hear anyone. So
understood. It was that awesome music. You couldn't handle the awesomeness of the awesome music. So there's no apostrophe. Well, okay. All right, good deal. Oh yeah, and you said in the settings we can do that. Is that right?
Which for the other thing?
Yeah, where your name or whatever.
Yeah, it's on settings. It's one of the general settings, I think, for just for the individual members coming in or something. You'll know it works right away because you'll see something appear below my name.
I don't see it.
See, I can't actually. Oh, can I? No, I can't do anything because I'm not on your channel. But
I got you. Okay.
Anyway, But you know what? I'll open up a test stream, and I'll tell you how to do it in a minute.
Well, Flomax is good for that, I understand. So,
I have no idea. That sounds like from when I was a kid.
you had to take Flomax when you were a kid. That's kind of
No, no, sorry. I said that sounded like an exhaust company that like sells exhaust pipes because I used to work at an auto shop parts store. So
it's old man medicine that helps you go to the bathroom and
oh well, then that's totally not what I thought it was.
stream very, very, very strongly. So now that we've made Aubrey uncomfortable, Aubrey, how are you today?
Well, it's good for when you have like kidney stones, right?
Yes, it helps with that or other issues. Yes,
Or if you're live streaming.
I have a husband. It's fine. I know.
there's too much pressure in live streaming that way.
What was the question? I'm good.
What are you up to? What are you building? What are you doing?
Right now, I'm building this set.
Ooh.
Just a little. I got like a lot, a little Lego lot of just like small Star Wars sets. So I built this one earlier. One of the Stormtrooper or Clone Trooper 501st Legion ones. Have like
Cool.
Obi-Wan's hut. So
Oh yeah.
small sets, and then the same lot came with the Anakin pod racer.
Oh, that's the second generation of that, right?
Yeah. Yep. So just building some little sets right now. I've been trying to start thinking about what I want to do for the Peach Lugs micro scale challenge.
Yes.
So I've never done micro scale, so that's going to be interesting.
It's pretty easy actually. You just have to. I mean, there's lots of other details, but then there's lots of details you get to skip because they're never going to see that. So that's what's nice. All right.
Any consolation, the 5 years ago, which was the last time we had a micro scale contest in the lug, I had never done micro scale.
Okay.
And like 2 days before the contest, I'm like, I think I should do something. And I whipped something together and mine made it into the window. I wasn't first place, but so, I mean, one of the fun things about these little lug contests is that as an ADH person, I usually wait till the weekend that it's due and then I build it. And two, I don't know, sometimes you just get in that state of flow and you're just like, and like something great comes out. And the nice thing about the lug contest is that if it's terrible, you don't have to bring it.
Exactly.
You can just,
Exactly.
have fun with it, and whatever comes out comes out. But I have to say, I really admire. There's some really talented micro scale, and I'm not in that category, but I see people who do like micro scale villages and stuff, and there's so much thought that they put into like the alignment of every little piece, and I'm not used to being that, measured, I guess.
I know I feel like micro scale is its own set of skills. You can be the best builder ever, but micro scale is like a totally whole nother world.
It really is. You don't have any room to fudge. Every part has to have an exact purpose when you micro build.
I would
let me see that. Look at there. Look. You see that? Look at those.
I would absolutely love to see Lego Masters have a micro scale contest. I know TV likes big things and exploding things and driving things, but they would have to really zoom in with the camera work. But I would love to see them where the TV rewards big, colorful things. I would love to see them at least have one contest where they're like, you got to build something really teeny, tiny.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the last time that you guys did it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Look at that. Look at all the how young. Look at Natalie. She's very, very small.
She's just standing on a chair in that picture. Now she almost doesn't need a chair to be that tall.
Right. Let me see if I can scroll. Hang on. I'm gonna see if it'll slide the pictures to see. Yeah, there's all the micro. This is micro Moonbase actually. Was what we did. I don't think I built for that.
I was just gonna say, Chris, and you didn't build.
Slacker.
Exactly.
I didn't, and I don't know why. I don't know. No, I was back in the lug. I don't know. It was in. Gosh, I wish I knew when these pictures were taken. There may have been something going on there.
It says it March 2018.
Oh yeah, okay. I don't know why I wouldn't have been there for March 2018. But,
You were preparing for your April Fool's party, I'm sure.
it's probably so. Yeah. That's pretty cool. I can see Andrew. He made. He's got his smaller version of his tower. I think it was Dana that made that very complicated thing right below.
Was that the Nexo Shield things?
Yeah, and that was amazing. So, let me go. Yeah, so there they are in the window. In fact, one of our youngest members was one of the winners there. So that was pretty amazing.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that's cool. But these kind of contests, and I'm glad for the lug. We're going to start out with this because building micro scale is you can build something amazing in a small space, but it still is a challenge. So.
Yeah. And it levels the playing field for people who are new to the hobby and don't have 500,000 bricks at their Lego.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I mean, actually a challenge would be like, what can you build with the leftover parts from a set?
Oh yeah.
You always had like the little teeny tiny pieces that are left over.
Yeah.
And I joked with Dana that he and I should do like a video set review where instead of reviewing the set, we review the leftover parts and be like,
how good are the leftover parts?
And this is an amazing part. Like, look how colorful it is, and just go through the leftover pieces.
You
from
should
like a really
totally
big.
do that.
Yeah, you should. Y'all should. That would be awesome.
Hilarious.
Who cares
It's
about the
totally,
main model? Here's what's
It's-
left.
it's completely worth buying the $600 Rivendell set just to get these leftover parts.
But what you do, Matt, is you make sure there's a part that shouldn't be in there, like leftover, just so that you get a lot of people saying you missed a part.
Or you have two of the same part left over. Everybody's gonna be like, that's not a leftover.
And the way you do it, you have this nice little slow zoom on the set, and you're like, "We're going to review," and you slide that out of the way, and this little pile of parts is in there. The leftovers.
Oh,
Yeah, it's nice when it is actually a new rare part that you get the extra in. Like, Speed Champions is good for that. That's awesome. Let's see who else is here in the chat. I'm trying to decide who's in your chat and mine.
If there's a link, it's my chat. So Shane McQueen is in mine.
Yeah, Aston Martin is good for leftovers. In fact, that one and the Fast and Furious car were 20% off at Target over the weekend, and those are good. Those are good parts packs, but I didn't go get one. But the set from Andor, the little lander, whatever that is, that one is $15 off, which almost makes it worth the retail what it should have been.
Yeah.
Hello to Humble Bricks. How are you? All right. Let's go to our Canadian. How are you today?
Good. Private chat is the instructions on how to turn that thing on, Chris. That didn't sound right. You know what I mean? So you guys heard about the Bricklink Designer Program sets finally coming out?
I got one.
Matt got one. One of the ones was this guy here, which I didn't buy, but it's a modular, it's a construction site, and I really liked it. So I spent some time over the weekend pulling some of the parts. So I've got like a bin here of parts.
Nice.
And then, hold on, I've got the other bin of parts. And I ended up ordering, I think, about $120 worth of parts off of Shop at Home for Bricks and Pieces, because every one of those, I think every single part except for one minifig head was on the site. There's a few things like the screen and the wheelbarrow you had to search for separately based on the part number because it didn't come up when you pulled up the set. But I basically ordered all that stuff. Like I ordered that today, so when that comes in about a month, I'll be able to build that set. And I always use back order as an excuse to have, future Jeff worry about the payment when it comes in.
Yeah.
For example, the A-frame cabin went on back order and it was a 2-month delay. So I ordered it 2 weeks ago, I think it was, maybe 3 weeks ago, and it wasn't supposed to ship for 60 days.
Uh-oh.
It's future Jeff problem now. Yeah, or
Future
current Jeff
Jeff.
problem now. So that came in, which I got the gift of purchase with it. That's why I ordered it in the first place. So I did that. I've been doing a lot of sorting to ran out of all the gray in this set I was pulling parts for. I had to start sorting my gray. So I'm getting closer with doing that. I'm currently sorting translucent parts. So I've got this bin just trying to sort by color. That's going on. And my kid needed new shoes. So of course he's a teenager now. So what kind of shoes are we buying for him? The $150 Nikes.
What?
Yeah, well, he's a teenager. He wants the nice shoes now.
That's called. My parents were like, "Go get a job."
Well, he
Leave
is
that
actually
shoes at
in the
home.
process of getting a job, so we're good there. But he
Okay.
needed shoes, so couldn't really wait. So I was on the Nike site, and I was like, "Is it Nike or Nike? I could never know." But
Nike.
Nike.
Or
Fine. I was on the
In
Nike
Greek,
site.
it's Nike actually, but anyway.
I was on the Nike site, and then I was like, you know what? I need a pair of shoes too. So I ended up grabbing some Adidas.
Please tell me you
Adidas?
said Daddy needs a new pair of shoes before you ordered that.
I did
You rolled
not,
some
but I
dice.
should have.
Is it Adidas or is it Adidas?
It's Adidas. So I got I was going for a darker shoe, but I got the one with a little bit of color on it, just as a going to con shoe, and well, I'll wear it around the house too, or around the.
Yeah, those
the
are
yard, too.
cool. I like the bottom.
Yeah, I liked it too. The first thing, for the record, not Lego compatible. So you can't just walk across the floor and pick up bricks. That doesn't work.
Darn.
Yeah, but yeah, these worked out to be I think they were $100 Canadian. So, which is I thought was fairly reasonable for a pair of shoes because I needed shoes anyhow, and I'd pay about 110, 120 usually. So, so yeah, I think that summarizes what I've been up to.
All of us thought about looking at the exchange rate and then did not. So
what was that?
all of us thought about looking at the exchange rate and then we just didn't. So
The other thing is I'm slowly taking apart the castle. I started on the weekend to disassemble my castle because I want to put an addition on it. But in order to put an addition on it, I have to move my castle 2 feet over. So I got to remove 2 feet of my castle so I can move it over and put an addition on the other side because the area I'm building in is about 6 feet by 8 feet. So it just doesn't fit. I need 8 by 8 feet. So I started taking it apart, realized as I got about an hour into it that I need to basically take the entire castle apart, move the tables, and then put the entire castle back together. And I was like, ugh.
do you see what trouble castle is? Do you see?
Well, obviously the castle's huge too, though, right? So, you kind of, it's just a pain to move. So,
Yeah, because Moonbase is never problematic.
no, never.
Brom did the exchange for us. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Brown.
Wait, you got a $73 American pair of shoes? I'm going to have to say, for fancy shoes, that actually is not bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember what the price was. It's somewhere between 100 and 110, something like that. But it was in. That's usually what I pay for shoes. So I was like, you know what? Let's have some fun and make people look at me weird. Not like they don't do that already.
I was about to say, let me just tell you, people may already look at you rather.
There you go.
There,
Jeff, you got to make us work for it a little bit. Come on.
Why? Might as well just take all the fun myself.
Hello, a couple of bricks heads. What's up? How are y'all? Welcome. All right, Matt, what are you up to tonight?
So I shared on both my Facebook and Instagram an actual picture in progress of the massive painting that I'm converting into Lego dots. And so if you haven't seen it, my Instagram is Falconer18 is my handle. And I tagged Brickmaster Amy, who of course helped to develop the dots program. And she made my week by liking the post. I said, I hope Brickmaster Amy approves of this massive use of dots, 98,340 dots when it's all said and done. And she liked it. Not a comment, but a like. But I was super happy to get the like. So, so that was pretty awesome. The only downside is that I am now completely out of mosaic plates. I used the last that I have here at the house, and I'm sitting at 0 plates. So there's no more mosaic-y going on. at the moment. So I put on my Jeff Van Winden hat and I got out the sorting, and we got an early jump on the summer sort. I learned the hard way that I can just sort all the time and never build. And so a couple of years ago when COVID first hit, I realized that I have to force myself to not just sort. Like I need to like just save the sort up for twice a year. There's the winter sort and there's a summer sort. So I'm jumping in on the summer sort. And I had a big old bin of loose brick, and Jeff threatened that he was going to sort it all while he was here, but we were pretty busy, and so he didn't have any time to sort. So I'm diving into that, and it's been fun. Some sets that I bought just for parts, and some leftover brick from a certain thing that I auditioned for didn't get chosen for. So those parts are going to be weaved into the parts collection, and of course I go to Costco and they had those like plastic bins for like $4 for $10, and I come home and I'm like, I want to use these bins to sort. So I've been doing some sorting, and there's some cool parts, and came in here. Lego Room was basically a no-go zone since the beginning of February. It was a pretty much disaster area. Things were spilled, mistakes were made, blue painted ladies were dropped on the floor, parts were everywhere. So it brought grief to come into this space, whereas usually I come into the space and there's like a happy place and I want to spend time here, but I would just come in and go, oh, the mess, oh, the destroyed painted lady, I don't even want to look at it. I just would turn around and walk out. And because I'm doing the dot project downstairs, I'm laying the sections out on the dining room floor, and I have all my dots downstairs because that's my like color palette. I've got them all in a container arranged by color. I didn't need to come up here for months. So now that the dot project is on temporary hold until we get our next shipment of plates, I was like, okay, I need to come back up and make the Lego Room be a place that I don't just cringe when I step through the door. So the good news is after a couple hours on Saturday or whatever day it was, Saturday or Sunday, I can now walk around all sides of the table, which wasn't true before.
That's awesome.
And I scraped up all the stuff from the floor. There's a running gag in our lug about the eyes, the little 1x1 eyes. And it's kind of the booby prize. Our local Lego store has given us lots and lots of eyes that were on the pick-a-brick wall, and nobody wanted them apparently. And so I won one of those prizes. And so
I won.
I don't want to brag here, but if you ever need eyes, hit me up. I have a few to spare. Right. And so, of course, when I was moving everything around the Lego Room, I managed to spill these all over the place. Yep. So I swear these are the most unruly Lego parts. They just seem to get everywhere. In fact, I should do this right now on camera.
There you go.
There you go.
That'd be funny if the bin kind of slid out as he was doing it.
Look, it can even be upside down. No eyes. So I don't know. My OCD always feels better if things are not super messy, even though when I'm a builder, I'm a very messy builder, but it's good I need that kind of clean space to start building, and then it gets messy very quickly and then I have to clean up. So I feel like we have completed a circle, and I can actually see half of my build table. So it's progress.
Well, do you do what? I mean, I do this. This is a bad habit when it gets really, really messy. And I'm a very messy builder too. Is like I get the bench scrape into the bin, and then you're like, I'll get back to that. And there's like so many little bins, and then to make yourself feel better, and you need the bin for another bench scrape, you pour one bin into another bigger bin with an older bench scrape, and you bench scrape into that. And that's where I'm at right now. And
but see now I don't even have to feel guilty. I just say, well, that's going to be the summer sort. That's when exactly. You just go. You're like, well, now we'll deal with that in June.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I will sort for a while and really get exhausted and just kind of like I'm not making any headway, and then I make a bigger mess on my table that then gets scraped back into the bin, and then I want to build something because of what ended up. I'll find parts. I'm like, oh, and I'll want to build something with that, and then if I want to train myself, and I should, I'll go, okay, when you complete this table.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking to myself like I'm a toddler. When you finish your vegetables, then you can have the dessert. But I'm just jumping to the dessert and making a bigger mess. So.
But this points to some difference between us. Like you are a table scrap builder in a way that I'm not, and it's something I'd like to get better at. But I like to start with a plan or with a very specific vision. I want it to have this shape and all this kind of color, and you will just pick up parts and be like, what can I do with this? Oh, okay, this leads to something else. And I almost never build that way. And I wish I was better at that, but I could see how sorting for you would trigger creative, like, for me, it's I sort by color first. So I can sit there in front of the TV or up here and I'm just, tossing bright orange, yellow, pale yellow. And then in the guest bedroom where Jeff slept, there's now containers sorted by color in there. The colors then have to be further broken down into shape.
Yeah.
So I may get the color sorting done, and then more mosaic plates arrive, and it'll sit there until the rest of the summer, and then I'll sort each color into the shape. But we'll see how long it takes for the next shipment to drop.
I want to imagine that Jeff was laying there about to go to sleep, rolls over, and it's like, ow! And he pulls like a 2x2 brick out of the bed and throws it across the room. And
no, it would have been put it into the bag, take it home. No.
Wait, that's a rare color.
we washed the sheets and the comforter before Jeff arrived. So if anything, they were in the washing machine.
Oh, jeez.
But to come touch back to a comment Jeff made, so the digital designer program, I ordered the train station, the $400 train station that showed up on my credit card. I was like, ouch. I forgot it was that much. And then it landed on my door Saturday or Sunday. And I liked the original design better than what came out, because the original design used these older trans-clear parts in the top, and they swapped. And I'm honestly not a fan of what they swapped it for. And I looked at that and I was like, I think I could just download the instructions. I have all of the pieces. I think I have most of the pieces that are in the current set. So that's going in the Bricklink store. I mean, I still think it's a cool design, but I don't have a train set up, and unless I, dramatically, finish the basement miraculously, win the lottery and finish the basement in the next year, I don't have enough room to set up the train. So it's kind of like, it's a cool design, but I did buy the other Bricklink program, which was the Venice building. And that one I love, and that one I will build, and it will fit in with my building. I do a lot of,
Those ones haven't shipped yet, though, have they?
Oh no, I got that a year ago. That was.
Oh, you've already got that one. Okay.
Yeah,
this was the last of the 3 phases, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
From 2021.
Yep.
Or maybe it was 22, I guess, because it would have been the 3rd phase.
It's interesting to me to see which ones sell out first. It's not always the ones that I would think, or the ones that I like, but that's the thing about Lego. It can appeal to a wide range of audiences, and sometimes the one I'm like, really? People bought that?
Yeah.
What? The Bricklink designer programs were not something I do a lot with. Do the designers get pretty good pay, or do they not?
I think they get a part of the sale, but I don't know if it's 5% or less or whatever. Because I think the Ideas program was 5% of the sale. I think, or maybe it was less than that.
I can tell you what the Lego factory scale was. It was Bipkus. That was what, when we did the set, we got 3 copies of each other's sets, Mark and I, and then we got a K8 and a brick pole, which was nice, but then that was it. They were like, sorry, see you later kind of thing. So
I've never read the details. I mean, somebody tagged my Painted Ladies in a post on a forum, and someone's like, "Oh, are you going to submit that to Lego Ideas?" Or I'm like, "No, it's way too many parts. I don't think Lego would ever make this."
Yeah.
And I never do interiors, so I'd have to do an interior.
True.
And honestly, there's like 50 other things I'd rather do than put an interior in something I finished 3 years ago. So,
Well, and then you have to CAD it up and all that stuff too, right?
Yes.
So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can remember Mark and I CADing ours up, and we used there was an old Lego Digital Designer, and then send it over to Denmark, and then we had to write notes because like there were hoses and they wouldn't work because that was before they figured that out. So you'd build your thing and a hose was laying there, and you're like, this connects to this, and they're like, okay, and they kind of figured that out, but oh, that's such a pain.
none of them messaged you take off hoser.
No, they're not Canadian, they're Danish. So
yeah, that
let's see
did
the
make
newer
sense. But okay.
voting. It says
5% of the net sales.
huh. Do they take that right off the top, or is it the profit of the set for like I don't know.
Well, it says 5% of the net sales, so I'd assume that comes off the top.
But those sets are also capped at they have to sell enough to qualify, but then when they they exhaust the top. So you would know that if yours qualifies, it's going to be between, I think they have to have at least 3,000 people. I don't know. People have to buy a certain number for it to invest, but then it caps out. So
that's not a small amount of money though, because I mean if you think about it, like the set that I'm partying out was probably $300 ish. So 5% of that is what, I want to say $50. So I don't know if that's right. No, that's not right. That's not right. Like $15 per set, and 10,000 to 20,000, because I think those rounds had 20,000 sets. So that's not a bad amount of money. It's what, 3,000?
I'm gonna go submit my Painted Ladies tomorrow.
30,000? Anyway,
Hey,
that's not working right now, but you know what I mean.
wait, are you doing your math in metric, or are you doing it in
Well, that could be the conversion factor. That's a good point.
What's the square root of that and the derivative? Come on.
Yeah, I'll let you know, Matt. 7. There you go.
It's 7.
The other day, my husband, who has a master's in statistics, says, have you ever thought about doing square roots in your head? And I'm like, no. Why would I? I could do percentages in my head because I need that as a political scientist. I never need to do square roots in my head. Like, why? He's like, oh, okay.
Was that just a random thought in his head? It's like,
no. He then proceeded to show me like a back of the envelope way to estimate square roots without actually using a calculator, as though this was going to be a tremendous time-saving device for me. And I'm like, okay, that's nice.
I've taken a square root 3 times in the past decade, so thank you very much.
I'm thinking this is a skill I will never need to use.
Oh, jeez.
But
I'm trying to think when Chris would take the square root of something, counting the kids in
Yeah, I have to find a mean value for how many mean kids I have. I don't know.
When you're dividing the loaves and fishes, you got to take the square root.
Oh, me. Anyway, so I don't have any super Lego. I am working on my micro scale right now for our contest. I'm going to make a spaceship crash site. So there'll be a big spaceship or microcell spaceship crashed into a crater. So
you don't have to worry about Giddens landing gear.
No, the Giddens gear failed and it landed badly. There's a big joke, Aubrey, there's a thing called Giddens gear. And when I build a spaceship, usually the last thing I remember to build instead of the first thing is the landing gear. So they're usually very tiny. They hold the spaceship up, and then they all make fun of me. However, they have not looked at normal airliners that land every day and notice how small the gear are compared to the large plane.
Yeah,
that's
right.
white and has a red stripe and has wheels and looks like a big Tylenol. So
let's just say it's a miracle that there hasn't been a Dana squash rover accident with the Giddens game.
Chris,
All right,
test
here-
first.
you mean this?
Yeah.
And I know he's not watching because he's not. So if he is or he does watch it, I hope he doesn't watch it. Anyway, I made it just for him.
Oh, jeez.
But anyway, so Aubrey had our first lug meeting with us on Saturday, which was
Yeah.
kind of awesome.
And
We're
she's
excited
still
to
here,
hear
so that's a good sign.
I'm still here.
She already
I mean,
paid her money for the
okay.
year, so whether she comes back next year is the question.
Francine was really cracking me up, though.
Francine was on.
You know what's funny is my husband was like, so I was like in our office in the meeting, and he could hear some of it in the other room, and he was like, "Who is this lady yelling about trains?" He was like, "Did someone steal this lady's trains or something?" He's like, "She's just yelling about trains."
Trish was naming everybody that participated, and she forgot Francine. And I was about to insert, and Francine too, and she went, "You didn't say my name." Oh, it's funny.
Yeah.
So great.
So, an interesting thing with the chat, we've had a few people on my channel pop in. My sister's here, and we've got Samir that's popped in, but it's not actually showing in the chat for Old Gray Bricks.
Huh.
Yeah, so it's on your thing. Hang on, let me
it's
see.
only on mine, yeah. So
Yeah, I
they
can show
can't see the
them
general
from
chat.
yeah, that's cool.
So
What's 5% of focus? I don't know.
half of a B? No, not even.
No, it wouldn't be that.
No, it's only 6 letters. Yeah, there isn't. So.
But there were quite a few of our lug mates that looked like they were going to go to Chicago, and I know there's everything like that.
Yeah, we should start a running count just so that we can get a sense. Because eventually, if we're going to do the shared table thing again, which we don't have to, but I felt that it worked pretty nicely last time. But
Well, like where you had your own island?
yeah, we had we listed
Oh, good
ourselves
portion.
as a collaborative so that we
Yeah.
would all be in. At least if we went to meet up for lunch, we would all go to the same part of the floor. And if for anyone who's never been to Brick World Chicago but thinking about it, it's really big. Like on day 4, I was like, I realized I had never made it all the way across to the far side of the hall, and the convention was going to end soon, and I needed to get over there to actually see what was on the far side of the building.
Right.
And it's big. I mean, it seems bigger than even Brick Fair, Virginia, which is also quite a big hall.
Yeah, I'd say it was bigger.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so just
That's what this year is. I'm planning on going, and this is going to be my first year.
one of the really awesome things about Brick World Chicago is just the draw, because it's kind of basically more or less in the middle of North America. You're getting people from Canada, you're getting people from the Great Plains who are going to drive over. Those of us from the South who come up, you get a fair number from the East Coast who come over. And so you really do get to meet some of the cool people that you follow on Instagram. I remember I was walking around and Cody walks by and I'm like, I follow you on Instagram. I couldn't remember his name. I was like, yeah, you look really, he goes, I'm Cody. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Chris, you're going to want to come because Brahm's going.
Oh,
Bro.
man, I want to go. I really want to go.
And Simon Liu, I never met Simon Liu, so that was the first time I ever he's kind of a legend, so that was cool.
I will say that, and we've talked about this on the show, that there was a vibe to Brick World Chicago that was very refreshing, very familial, and it was, you weren't in a rush to downtown, you weren't in the middle of a mall in the middle of nowhere. With nothing, there was stuff to do nearby, and but then also it was really easy to get around. There was not like a big wad of traffic, and you had to get on the interstates and stuff like that. So,
unless you were coming in and out on public day.
That's
Then
true.
there was traffic in the parking lot. So
Yeah, but nobody cares about the public.
Right. But you know the funny thing. I mean, I don't know what is a usual public day for Chicago. Does anybody know?
like how many people?
Yeah. How many people come in to visit for public? Do we know?
I would guess 8 to 10,000, but I don't know. It could be even more than that. I'm not sure.
I guess more. I'd guess
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say like 15,000.
Well, I mean that. What I'm saying is, as comparison though, if there were, like they said, 100 or 10,000 people that came to Atlanta Brick Convention, that is big dog amazing, and that's huge. So I hope that keeps up, so our show, even gets even bigger here. So,
I mean, if I had to guess, I would say Brick World Chicago is probably 15 to 20,000 over the 2 days. But I don't. That's
I was saying 8 to 10,000 a day.
Oh yeah, I'd agree.
That's what I was guessing.
oh, I got you. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, they don't usually announce that. I mean, Atlanta, he did say they had, what was it, almost 10,000 through the door?
Yeah, that's what he
Something like
said.
Yeah.
So,
Look, are you done, Aubrey?
Yeah, it's just a tiny little.
the
yeah,
duel.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I just there's so much movement on this one.
Yeah, that's really cool. I don't think I picked that up. But I'm not super Star Warsy when it comes to Lego, which is the reason I don't have a lot of really, really expensive sets to sell and resell. So
Yeah.
but it's pretty amazing.
It's because of your love of the dark side. That's why.
My love of the dark side. I love the space side. But you got to understand, as a space guy, there's still a little catch in my spirit about the fact that we were denied really good space and spaceships because of the Star Wars license for so long, and so a little bitter, not too bad.
I mean, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I do think that it's getting a little. I can only have so many of the same ship.
Yeah.
Like, it's getting a little bit to the point where it's like, okay, like maybe we should have some other options instead of this. So I'm a little bit over it right now.
The tables are turning.
Honestly, these little sets that I built are probably just going to be parted out. I'm probably not going to keep them like that.
My issue is that I want to get each unique spaceship, but I really like the UCS scale huge versions of them. So I end up buying the little version, like a land speeder, and then whoa, we get the big land speeder. I want that one. So it's
yeah, I have the tiny little one. I'm I can't afford the 250 one.
Oh wait, do I have it? I have the original land speeder around here somewhere.
But I feel like there's 3 versions of everything.
Well,
which I understand. You want to make it more accessible and have different sizes and stuff, but I'm it's not like that for any other theme.
True. Well, the land speeder was a little ridiculous because it was there were 2 different versions of the same scale land speeder in the store at the same time at one point.
Really? At the same, I didn't know it was at the same time.
Yeah, that one that you have and one that's very similar to it. I mean, it just depended on how fast it was selling or how long the store had kept it on its shelves.
Yeah.
But it was basically, I mean, it was designed very similar, and yet it was no, what? I don't. And then of course the UCS comes out. Everybody's like, how many more land speeders can we have? So.
So I would point out, though, that we have had 2 different scale of the Ghostbusters, maybe even 3 different scales of the Ghostbuster.
Yeah, 3.
And we've had 2 different DeLoreans.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And technically, we now have 2 different Land Rovers. One was Technic, which was the newer model, and one is the 83 model or whatever. So
True.
Which is the one that just got announced.
Yeah, I'm kind of a pass on those, though. I don't know.
But yeah, I I hear you, Aubrey. I mean, one of the things that I'm having to do is just become slightly more selective. Data hinted at that. You know, like there's only so much shelf space, and that's one of Mark Sandlin's thing is like it's a shelf sitter. And I have a Star Wars office, which is great, but it has a limited amount of shelves.
Well, yeah, that's how
I
I
mean-
feel like this whole shelf behind me, this entire thing is Star Wars, and I'm like, I don't have room to buy other stuff.
Well, let me introduce you to IKEA shelving.
So I actually am saving up to get the Billy bookcases. I heard that those are pretty good for like changing shelf height and stuff.
So what I did in Meredith and Brian, I recommended this to them. But there's also if you own a house or you don't plan on moving and you don't mind drilling you don't mind putting holes in your wall.
Yeah.
They sell a system that's brackets that are either like the shelves are this wide, or I think they're 12 inches or 18 inches long.
Okay.
You put the brackets in and you can adjust every single shelf if you want to real close
Exactly.
together.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember the IKEA name for it, but it's very flexible. So
It's really
if you
weird.
want the shelves
Can't
close
pronounce
together and you want to spread them apart, and Brian and Meredith went out and bought the same stuff, and they're like, it's pretty fantastic because you know as long as you don't mind having those big brackets on the side of your wall, I can come into my Star Wars office and decide, you know what, I want to put something really big in there, and I need this much room for the AT-AT to fit, so I've got to bump this baby up here so it's got the clearance. It does give you that flexibility. And the other issue is that with the Billy, I had the UCS, not the Star Destroyer, but the Super Star Destroyer, which is too long to fit on any Billy. It just from end to end, it's too big. But with these, I could put 10 feet of shelving all at the same level, so I could set something as lengthy as a Super Star Destroyer.
That makes sense. Yeah, I'm worried that like my Mos Eisley is not gonna fit well on a shelf and like that type of stuff. But I do own a house, so we can. I mean, drilled plenty of holes in the wall already. So
Brahm's asking if it's Alvaro. It's in chat.
It's not. I'll hop on my phone. I just have to. It's like Boxol or something.
Yeah, we had
everything at IKEA sounds like that.
We had my brother lived with us for a long time, and he just moved out recently, so we have a empty room. So it's becoming the Lego room, but it's like a blank space right now. We don't have like any shelving or any desks or anything. So I'm like trying to. I don't want to just like buy cheap stuff. I want to actually like do it right so that I don't have to redo it later.
The other option is the Ivar stuff from IKEA.
Which is what's behind you?
Yeah, which is what's behind me, which is just wood racks, and then shelves are adjustable every inch.
Okay, yeah.
It is a Boaxel, Boaxel.
Yeah, Ron just put it in chat too.
Oh, did okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also saw Lego or IKEA is coming out with some pretty cool Lego like storage boxes and stuff.
Are you about the white storage boxes?
Yeah.
Yeah, those have been out for a while.
Oh, really?
They just got marked down. Actually,
maybe that's why I just saw them.
When they first came out, like our local Atlanta store only had the small ones, and then only had the big ones, and so I bought 2 of the big ones, and then Mark Sandlin was in there, and he was like, "Hey, they have the small ones," and so he got me 1 of each size, and they're in the closet, and I've done absolutely nothing with them since I got them. I'm like Lego hoarders, I'm like, let's have one, but I haven't done anything with it yet.
Well, one of my favorite things about IKEA is everything is named or whatever, and then there's Billy. And
exactly. It's like unpronounceable or very generic.
Right. Honestly, these are Walmart or Target shelves, and they work pretty well. I mean,
see, that's why I'm like, the Target shelves are like half the price.
Yeah, they are. But go ahead.
I was just gonna say the Billy ones, the newer Billy ones actually have reinforcement in the shelves so they don't bend. and I don't know if Chris's are. He doesn't have a lot of stuff on it, but if you're putting a lot of heavy stuff on it, you might want to consider that too.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, because I may do like I may not just do Lego. I
Mhm.
might include like some of my books and
Yeah.
some, like, I have like other things that I want to display, so I'm like need to think about, it's not just Lego weight. We do have a lot of books, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, pronounce that. How do
Okay.
you pronounce that? It's like Biglex.
Like,
Blah, blah,
It
blah, blah, blah. Like, it's
sounds like
it-
somebody with sinus infection trying to clear that out. So
blah, blah. I don't think I've actually ever opened this. That's kind of embarrassing.
there's not much to it though, so don't worry about it.
It's a
just
box. It's not-
Yeah.
It's a box with a really thick wall, so it's not like it's, it's like, oh, these are good size, and then you open it up and it's like, a third of the size you thought it was, or a third less.
I've seen people, I like that they have like the little, on the front, they have that little square
Oh yeah, yeah.
that you can, like, I've seen people make like little labels out of Lego for whatever's inside the box. I probably will never do that, but
there are people in our lug who have incorporated them into builds to make them higher. So
Yeah.
that's smart.
it's
Yeah,
official Lego.
Yeah,
so
Martin did that, right?
It's surprisingly hard to open.
I was laughing at you doing that.
Well,
if you don't have to assemble it, they're going to make you work for it
I
anyway.
was about to say, if you don't have to assemble it, it's got to be hard in some way, right?
Lost. Oh, look. They're so little and dainty.
They're so cute.
They're little and dainty and probably very not very useful.
Well, if you were going to do any kind of like landscape, they could be the foundation, because they fill, just like I keep threatening one of these years, I'm going to put a 2x2 Duplo brick on our bulk lug list just so we can get like space filler volume if you want to do it.
2x4 instead. It's better.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just do
I'm all
8,
for it.
8x8.
Yeah, I did. I used some Duplo in my wreath too.
The crater. I don't know if you saw the crater that I had on the moon base. One of them is not Duplo because I'm like, I built it with regular brick frame under there. I'm like, this is exhausting. And so then I went and got Duplo and finished the rest of it. So it was much easier.
It's funny because at one point Nick in the chat had said they should have just called it Wayne for that one, and I don't see that in the chat anymore. It's like disappeared.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Did he delete his
I'm
comment?
pretty sure Nick said that. I mean, actually, I don't even. Oh yeah, the MK. Yeah, there he is.
The funny thing is, the larger one, when you open the box up, you have to assemble the box.
Yeah.
And the first time I couldn't figure out how to put it together. I kept going, how is this going to make a box? And I'm like, trying to. And
Oh,
of
he
course, if
deleted
in
it, okay.
IKEA, there have to be instructions where you do it backwards first.
Yep. Exactly.
Hey, did that come with an Allen wrench just for the fun of it, or
Nick said he deleted it because he didn't want to upset all the Waynes. Okay, I thought I was going crazy for a minute there, but
All the weigh-ins.
the weigh-ins?
If you watch the Dairy Girls, the Irish expression is "wee ones," but they say "wains." That's like Irish slang for little kids, and they're like, "and the weigh-ins."
I watched. Somebody sent me something, and the reason they sent it is somebody from the church. When we do like a petting zoo, the local petting zoo has a, and I can't remember the Welsh whatever cow, long-haired cow, really really cool cow. We call it the Star Wars cow because it looks like a Wookiee and everything. So there was a little video from Instagram, and it was this very 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 broguish accent talking about the coos. And is this for the coos and all that kind of stuff, and it was great. But as the whatever the translate was going, it was doing all the words well until it came to cow, and it was coo, COO. Here's a great coos, and then it heard COO. So I couldn't listen. I had to listen to it 3 times because I was cracking up at the thing getting the name wrong for the coos.
So when Jeff was here for Brick World, we were watching some,
Atlanta BrickCon is what it
Atlanta
means.
Brick.
Yeah.
We were watching some Veg Out TV, and Thomas starts telling about this Scottish show about the rig, about an oil rig in the North Sea, and
Damn you.
it's got the guy who was in Game of Thrones, and he's got this awesome Scottish accent, and most of the cast has some kind of English, Welsh, or Scottish accent because it's shot there. And so we watched like the first couple episodes, and then Jeff goes home, and then he gets to the end. He goes, "You didn't tell me it is a cliffhanger ending. I watched all the way in."
Most shows have a cliffhanger ending, but this is like, did the world end or did it not end?
Right.
And it's like,
Spoilers.
really?
Spoilers.
Yeah, well,
and I was like, I texted back and I said, "Yeah, but you got those amazing accents. I mean, it was worth it just for the accents alone." Look, I could build a box, and I didn't even put it together backwards.
There you go.
there you go.
Wow.
Woo, achievement unlocked.
I was just looking at the Brick World schedule and realized that April 30th is the cutoff for registering mocks.
Ooh,
Oh gosh, April
up.
30th.
Oh, April. Oh, yeah. April 30th. So, which is a couple months before, but that makes sense. But
how do you think they're going to respond when I say I need 10 feet of space?
well, you just say you need 10 feet by 1 foot of space.
Yeah, you're gonna need 10 feet high, but you're only gonna need,
There can't be things in front of it because you got to be able to see it. And that's the other thing is, I occurred to me that if I set it on the floor, like it looks better from about 15 to 20 feet out. But if people are right up to the stanchion, you won't be able to get a photograph of it. So maybe it needs to be like sit like 4 or 5 feet up so that you can see the whole thing, even if there's a crowd. I don't know.
You need to. I'd say it's probably be best if it was leaning up against a wall type scenario or something somehow, but without sliding down.
Yeah.
Because then people will see it across the room, right?
I mean, in theory, I guess I could request like tables that I could push against the wall and then set it on the tables.
Yeah, you just got to make sure. Yeah, that could
It's
work.
stable.
Yeah, but then you need to request you want wall space, and like they'll have to accommodate that, right?
I will say that last year they were very good. Like I emailed them a question about like we wanted a U-shaped alignment, and they sent a follow-up question. So I think if I put in the request, then maybe I can attach a photo and be like, "This is what it looks like."
Yeah,
like it's big. It's really big.
I meant to say, Dana mentioned the other day that those the mosaic tile plates have gone to bestsellers, which means you can now order them and get them within a week. Are you kicking yourself right now because you were waiting for them all?
Yeah, when I get paid, I may order the rest of them.
Yeah, and then just
the second order might beat the first order here.
Yeah. Well, then what do you do with all the rest?
Oh, I need both orders to finish the project.
Okay.
So I needed 90. I needed 97 more, and I placed an order for 55. So I think I need 40 more.
All right, so
if
you do that,
I might place the order for 40. I was kind of looking ahead. Does anybody know? Is there going to be a new GWP at the beginning of April, or is it still Easter Bunny?
There's the Easter one right now, and I think the Easter one went to April 9th, from what I saw.
8th. I thought it was 8th,
Okay.
but it's still it's on right now. I mean, I could place an order right now and get that. I didn't know if there was anything worth holding out for in April.
I haven't heard of anything, but I'm searching right now.
It's getting close enough that usually if there's a new GWP, they let us know about 10 days out. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, April 8th, that means that they're nowhere close. They're still another week or two away.
with the Range Rover coming out, I thought maybe there would be like a poly bag Range Rover. If you,
I'd like to see a Speed Champion Range Rover now, or like just a bunch of different Range Rovers, Speed Champion ones. I think that'd be cool. Think about the number of Range Rover lovers they could pull in with those, right? Like Dom's car or Brian's car from Fast and the Furious. Those things sold like hotcakes.
Oh, speaking of vehicles that have been done in multiple scales, how about helicopters?
You know, I think Lego has calmed down on the helicopter building, but I think Mech was about to take it over, but helicopter may be back. I don't know.
We'll see.
But yeah.
There's a Technic helicopter that came out this year. That's like currently, I know it's in Canadian Costco's at least.
So, Aubrey, when I worked at the North Point Lego store, I was talking with one of the managers, and they said, "Okay, let's count the number of helicopters on the shelves right now." Like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, there's like a bunch of different.
It's like
Yeah.
8 or 9 helicopters scattered across Marvel, DC, City, of course. But like even I think the Scooby-Doo line had a helicopter.
Yeah.
In it. You know, I mean, it's like, is there a line? It needs a helicopter, unless it's Star Wars, you know, or Harry Potter. No helicopters in Harry Potter.
Nope.
Is there any is there anything close to a you know, they even made a space helicopter in the Mtron line. There's the whatever ionizer is the name of it. I can't remember. Celestial ionizer, and it literally is a helicopter, space helicopter.
Yeah.
Wow.
Braun makes a good point and says speed doesn't fit with the Range Rover Defender. This is true.
Oh man. I would say that it's odd to say that the only line that's really getting my attention when it comes to Lego is Speed Champions, and that I'm not a car guy. I appreciate car guys and people who are big car fans. I'm just really enjoying the builds, and the set feels worth the $20-$25 you're spending on it. It hits all the buttons for me, and I'm learning something of how Lego goes together when I build it. So,
Well, and Speed Champions tends to get a lot of new parts, I find. Like they've got 3 or 4 new parts easily, and well, probably 5 or 6 new parts in this release alone.
Yeah, the little D snot, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So, but anyway,
I mean, that's kind of like how I am with Harry Potter. I could care less about Harry Potter, but I buy the sets and sell off the minifigs and just keep the parts because they got like the dark green masonry brick, and I had to have some of those. And I'll build the Harry Potter set once, build the building just to build it, and then I usually tear it down and just brick it out. But it's kind of interesting to see how they put some of their buildings together.
yeah, the build styles. I mean, that's who we were talking. I don't know who I was talking to. We were talking about the fact though that it used to be when you were buying an Mtron set, you're like, oh, I can do better with this. These are good parts. Now the sets are so good, even the sets that are 3-in-1s that are like well designed. You've got hired adult fans, designing these sets. It's like I bought. Number one, it's expensive, but number two, I bought the pirate ship, the 3-in-1, and I'm like, I really like that. I don't want to tear it apart, so I'm not. And I'm the one that I'm like, I hate shelf sitters, but now I've got shelf sitters over here, and I got all the shuttles and the things over there, and so. That part of the hobby has changed. So
you've become a member of the club.
I have. But I still will not drop like more than. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've really spent more than maybe that shuttle was the most expensive set I've actually bought because I'm like, if I'm going to drop $200, I could just get a really good Bricklink order and be as happy as I can be. So, that's just me.
When those new parts finally come out.
It's weird when you do the math and you go, I should really just be ordering Bricklink every other month rather than buying sets to get like 8 of this new part. I should just order 8 of that part. Like,
I don't know.
Even if the Bricklink guys got it super expensive, it's still, I'm not spending $200 to get that part. I might be spending $10, but
But I enjoyed like building the set and knowing that I'm going to take it apart within a week or 2 or a month or whatever, right? Like I build a set, it goes into the bin, and then that goes into the sort type thing. It's more just the activity of doing it to figure out how they did something, or just for the fact that I don't have to use my head. I could just, read the instructions and build something, and then know I have something to sort later on.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, I will say like sometimes if I build in front of the TV, when I'm not building a mosaic, building from the TV at the end of the day and my brain's kind of fried, just following the instructions of a set is actually nice. Like I don't have to think. I'm not trying to be creative. It's just step 1, step 2, step 3.
Yeah.
I know for me, it's like after doing the reef, my brain needed a break. Like but I didn't want to stop doing Lego, like I don't want to
Mhm.
stop building. So it's like I'm like, I need to build and not be creative for a minute. Like
Yeah.
let me
You
just
want to play with the brick, but just
yeah,
not
like
think
give me
about
the
it. Yeah.
instructions and just tell me what to do. So
Well, that's the thing though. If you build spaceships, after you build it, you can then satisfyingly just whoosh it around all day and spin around in your chair, and that's pretty satisfying. So
Until you get dizzy and fall off.
I will say I am glad that we are doing a little contest for the lug, because I do feel like I'm kind of in like a little bit of I pushed myself like so hard with the reef build that I think I kind of like overextended my creative brain a little bit, and so I'm like having a hard time getting back into creating, and so I'm like, oh, a challenge, something to force me to do it. Like
Yeah.
well, even Meredith and I were talking, and we were just, and she said she remembers when she really got into the lug and started building, and as she called it, the old grays, us were building in the lug. She's like, that was kind of intimidating, and I'm like, well, it shouldn't be, but she's like, but then she started building, and like, let me see if I can build better than them or better than this person. So it's a friendly challenge to scale it up a little bit and get better. And so
I think it's fun to have a little competition. Like it's fun to try to do something cool that everyone else thinks is cool, or
it's fun to beat Dana right now. And that's the best part.
I will be honest, like every time I would bring something to our little lug competitions, I did not expect to win. And so like if my thing got voted to go in the window, I was like, well, that's really nice. Like I was not expecting that.
I think that's the best way to go into it though, is just you're proud of your build, and if it wins, it wins, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. But
the one exception was we did the pop-up book. So Legos gifted the lug with like 8 copies of the pop-up book, and so we had a contest where you had to make a different scene.
Yeah.
And I was real happy with mine. And I get there, and I had done Moby Dick.
Okay.
And somebody else did Moby Dick, and it was much better than what I brought. And as soon as I saw their Moby Dick, I was like, oh man.
Just like your heart is just drops. Like, dang it.
And then Meredith had her Madeline scene that was way too big to ever fit in the book. So she had the book open. And then she had like, I'm like, that is that's a little outside the parameters. There's no way all that goes in and the lid goes shut. I spent I don't know how much time trying to make everything fit so the lid would close, and I still had things that would pop off, and I was like,
Yeah, so I didn't do that challenge because I'm like, no, I'm going to ADHD out, get mad, freak out, be upset. This is not going to calm me down. It's going to ramp me up, and then it's not going to work, and I'm going to not finish. So I just said I'm not going to try. So I didn't try on that one.
So I actually don't, in my collection, I feel like I'm going to get yelled at. I don't have any space stuff.
You got all the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, Star Wars.
I had Star Wars, but I bought my first little. You guys know that 3-in-1 that it's like an astronaut and a space shuttle, and then like a rover or something. Mm-hmm. I did buy that recently.
Is that the new one, the little $10 one?
Yeah, it's like a tiny little 3-in-1.
Yeah.
Oh no!
I didn't mean to laugh. No, I did.
The Monster Burger truck is awesome.
This was one that this was a 3-in-1 set that I was not gonna get, and then
that was a 3-in-1.
Or no,
yeah,
no, was it 3-in-1? I only built this. Mark Sandlin built
that
it,
is awesome.
And he kept going on about like how fun the set was and how it's jacked up is the burger truck. And I was not gonna get this set, but he talked, and I bought it, and I'm like, it really is fun. Like I would
like that. They designed it like that.
Yeah, it's got a little. You pull out the little stairs out from between the wheels. The guy that's all the burger guy. He looks like the guy from Animal House. One of the guys, he's got the big mustache and all that kind of stuff. The burgers, yeah, like the little slide thing there is awesome.
That's hilarious. What
Oh,
the
it is
heck?
so funny.
They need to do more stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, the 3-in-1s, and then it seems like they've kind of calmed down. Although I really like the bunny. I built the bunny, and it's really a good parts pack.
Yeah.
Even the other thing, the big bunny and the big parrot, they're $20, and
Yeah.
they're a good price point, good creativity, good colors and stuff. But for a little bit, they were doing the classic themes in the 3-in-1s, but it looks like that is not happening this year. So that's a disappointment.
Well, didn't they do Vikings? Wasn't that this year's?
It was the last one. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's
Chris
the
doesn't
little
consider.
yeah.
Chris
yeah,
doesn't count Viking.
No.
I don't.
Viking, pirates, whatever. It's only space and city.
I have the birdhouse one upstairs, the birdhouse creator set that I picked up. And I picked it up and afterwards saw someone take the Groot figure and put the birds around him.
Oh, cute.
And I'm like, okay, I now have to do that because that's just going to be
Cute.
absolutely hilarious.
I got this in the multi-pack that Walmart has for Easter,
Yeah.
which is a great bargain, by the way, for $14. You know, so I really am looking forward to building this because I like the little turtle in it. So these are
Yeah.
great.
Chris
They're
found a
outside of my
purpose.
norm, but they're fun and then like packed full of creativity. So
Yeah,
We found
that's what I love the 3-in-1s.
Chris found his purpose.
His purpose in life.
Mhm.
Porpoise.
I wish to Shell you hadn't have said that. So, but now if I ever had a dream job, I would love to have a little toy shop like in a little village, like at the beach, and have little kits like that kids could buy that you can just design those all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you started down that trail, I thought right away of Rich because you said a little toy shop, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, there's too much beer and pickles where he lives. I don't know.
Yeah, this is true.
It's very German.
Rich is living your best life. I see.
Yeah, he is. 3-in-1 with hard animals this year. Yeah, no, they're great. I agree, Gabriel. That's true. I mean, and I think it's a good move. I think it's like got all kids, whatever, will all like those and everything. But I do hope they go back to having the minifigs in them. That was kind of nice. So
Yeah. I mean, we're only what, a third of the way through the year, a quarter of the way through the year. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have, there are gonna be some sets. I was just thinking about that before I'll get the Land Rover Defender because, well, I have all the cars, or I have most of the cars now. Because I was silly enough to start buying a few of them, and then became an addiction.
I like them all.
But I was thinking there hasn't been a lot of sets this year that I've been like absolutely must have, other than the Speed Champions.
I feel the same. I
Yeah.
haven't really been.
For me, it's
I
the
want
eighth.
the Jazz Club, but I can wait.
don't talk to him about it. Yeah.
The 8th frame and the Rivendell are the two I really want. They're at the top of my list, but I've gone back and forth about that lighthouse, and I know that I know Jason was a big fan of the lighthouse, but the price point isn't like if I get Rivendell, that's a lot of money. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, someone
Rivendell isn't even-
doesn't like the Jazz Club or really likes the Jazz Club? Doesn't.
He likes all the modulars. He hated the Jazz Club.
You built it?
The Jazz Club is a good build, though.
I'm skipping it so far. I've not bought it.
I haven't bought it yet either, and I love all the modulars.
To me, it looks
Haven't.
too simple. I feel like it looks like a fan design set 10 years ago, and there are like great fan design sets out there. And when that came out, I was kind of like, "You're kidding me? That's the set, really?"
Yeah.
I didn't see much innovation there. Usually every modular set that comes out, I build it and I learn something or I see something really cool, like Assembly Square.
I wish the like architecture was a little like I feel like last year the set was the boutique hotel, right?
Yeah.
And like the
I liked
architecture on that set was like really interesting. Like the
Mhm.
outside of the building was interesting.
And people people didn't like the light nougat, but I didn't mind the
Yeah, I liked it.
colors, and I love the fact that it was rounded and asymmetrical. I thought that was great.
Yeah. I'm a big modular person, and I haven't really felt a huge like drive to buy the Jazz Club yet. I mean, honestly, I'll probably end up getting it, but
Wait for double VIP points.
that's
or
what I'm
for it to
thinking,
get-
or a good
Yeah.
GWP, or
Yeah.
you know,
Or Sugarloaf sometimes gets damaged box.
yep, wait for a damn
You
box.
can get
Yeah.
like $50 in VIP points. Although that price point, it probably won't be quite that generous. It'd probably be like $25 in points. But
Yeah.
maybe then I would
Something.
jump for.
Yeah.
Yeah, or use your VIP points for it too. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the other way, right?
Oh, I
Yeah,
just
I
blew
just
all my.
yeah, I have a good bit of points. I just got my first Ninjago set. So I got the City Garden set. I'm excited for that.
That's
I,
what I am.
I hope you haven't Googled the Ninjago City set to fill out your row.
I haven't.
It's like an $800.
Oh no. I bought the one that's in the store right now, and I'm not getting any
Yeah.
previous ones because I know the Ninjago is crazy.
That's the other.
These gardens over there too, right?
Yep, I got them all. But I'm so glad I bought the first one at retail.
Yeah.
And I have to say that if I made a list of my top 10 most enjoyable builds of all time, that Ninjago City might be at the very top.
See, that's what everyone's saying is Ninjago has a really interesting techniques. Yeah.
It was fun to build. I would put that and the UCS Slave one right up at the top. And yeah, they were just fun. A lot of fun.
So I know. Okay, so Chris and Jeff, do you guys build modulars too, or no?
I do.
You do. Okay.
Well,
I don't.
My
I
turn
only
is
have
fine.
the cafe corner, and I have the.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I have custom modulars as well. So I
Mm.
have the actual sets are in the back room where people don't see them. And
You
then I
have
have my
cafe
own build.
corner and what?
I have cafe corner. I have the Lego Factory one that came out. It's Jake's borrowing a piece of it though for his Spider-Man display, which is like worth like $1,500 or some crazy stuff like that. The second one, and I've got then Jake has been buying one on occasion. So he's got the corner gas station garage thing. He has the Daily Bugle. I know that kind of half counts, and a couple
Daily
others.
Bugle one is my favorite so far.
Which one?
That Daily Bugle one. I really like that one.
See, I haven't bought that one either.
It looks great next to the modulars.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah,
just
it does.
right in.
It
Yeah,
looks too
so
plain
Jake-
for me though. It's just
So what?
it's too plain. It's the same all the way up.
So
right?
the way I
It's
have it,
sleek. It's sleek.
yeah, I have it to where the goblin is busting out the windows, and I feel like
Okay.
that makes it not plain.
Yeah, fair enough. I guess.
See,
Yeah.
I made mine without. I sold all my minifigs for $200. So
Oh yeah, those minifigs are like, yeah,
if you sell, so here's the other thing. If you don't care about the minifigs, like for me, Harry Potter and some of the Marvel, I don't really care. I just want the buildings. If you buy the set the first week it comes out and you list those on Bricklink, you can make half the price of the set and just get the building for a much smaller price. But
That is true. Jake, he's got basically his Spider-Man universe. He had it at ABC, so he built all of his extra bad guys and has a big battle and all that kind of stuff. So that's his continuing project, which is cool. I like that he enjoys that. So
that's awesome. Yeah, Spider-Man is actually my favorite Marvel character. So
it's very cool. He's a big fan of the new Spider-Man. What's his face? I know his name, and I just went woo right out of my head. So
Tom Holland.
yeah, no, I'm talking about the cartoony. Yeah, Tom Holland, he's great, but
Miles Morales?
what's his face?
Miles,
What? Miles Morales. There it is. Ugh.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah.
The Into the Spider-Verse was
Yep.
such a fantastic movie, and so we're looking forward to the sequel to that coming
I'm
out.
so excited for that. That honestly probably my favorite of the Spider-Man movies. Yeah.
And
Well,
we got
it's also-
Spider-Ham. We got Spider-Ham.
John Mulaney as Spider-Ham was so perfect.
Did anybody watch the Shazam movie on the weekend?
I did.
I haven't
How was
seen
it?
yet.
It was good. I mean,
it? Okay.
it was not like now the first one was I really enjoyed because Shazam is Captain Marvel
Yeah.
is my favorite hero growing up because and there's reference to the original 70s TV show that came on when I was a kid in the
Okay.
movie, and that was really good. But it didn't recapture that magic as much. The jokes kind of became a one joke pony going through the movie, but it was visually it was a really good movie and it was a lot of fun. So
Cool.
I liked it.
I heard they kind of set it up a little bit for maybe some like future stuff to crossover type of thing.
Right. So
Except for the fact that they're rewriting the whole universe, right? So I don't know.
Oh God.
Yeah,
all the DC universe is getting redone, which it's okay. I'm okay with that.
it's normal.
mean-
We're used to it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Well, and-
Marvel kind of changed the game a little bit. I feel like.
A lot.
Yeah.
But all right. Oh, it's 20 after the hour. So this has been fun. Great conversation. Thank y'all for dropping by. We have actually really good viewership the whole time. So like and subscribe and smash the buttons and do the things and be awesome and build awesome, everybody.